Hi, we are talking to amazing people in construction and education about recruitment, training, and retention. Welcome to the Builders Table. I'm your host, Jennifer Wilkerson. Well, I'm excited. Today I have Maria Ford with me from DeWalt, and she's the president of Commercial Construction Channel. Wow, that's a title. So I'm so glad to have you, Maria. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your pathway and how you ended up with DeWalt.
Well, Jennifer, first of all, thank you on behalf of DeWalt. Really excited to be here today, speaking with you, and you've had an awesome journey into the industry as well. My journey started about 25 years ago. I actually, at the time, thought when I was getting ready to graduate college, I wanted to go into the fashion industry. I had looked into it pretty seriously and realized that it probably wasn't a path at that time that was going to be something that I wanted to pursue. And I had a college teammate who had started as an intern as well at that time, Black & Decker. And I really followed in her footsteps. She was about 2 years older than I was. And it brought me into the industry. And I started as an intern my first summer calling on the Home Depot. And from there, really kind of expanded my career and spent time mainly in sales facing roles and marketing for some of our customers and channel partners. And then, spent some time in what I would call more core marketing roles. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I stepped into to run and lead this particular channel, which, I think the piece behind it wasn't really a well-traveled, I would say, area in Stanley Black & Decker in our industry for females. So it was definitely something that I thought was intriguing because of that. And obviously continue to love the role and the company that I work with. So that in a short story is kind of how I ended up where I am. And I think a lot of it goes to the fact of I saw a mentor right ahead of me in a role that I felt like was something that I could do based off of the achievements that she had, done throughout her career at Black & Decker at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's such a fantastic point. First of all, from fashion to build to construction, that's fabulous. I love it. So it tells everyone that's out there, you can change from anything. If you think you have no idea what's going on in construction, come on over because we got a place for you. So I think that's great. But I love what you said, though, about having a mentor. Our women in construction research, that's one of the things the women talked about. Like, I need to see other people in that position that look like me and are like me and everything. So I think it's really important that you had somebody that kind of sparked that interest, but then it also concerns you, me, all of us that are in the industry, if there's not enough women in these positions doing what we're doing, how will the next generation even know about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I work with a lot of young women in their careers today, and that's exactly what I hear is they want to continue in the industry and they know the challenges that they're going to face as a female. So a lot of the times they'll say to me, I've watched you navigate through these obstacles being a mother or being a female in a male dominated room. And it's shown me that it's possible, right? It's taught me different ways that I can maybe handle those situations. And it definitely is important, right? I think women that are in these positions today maybe don't realize the impact that they're having on the younger generation coming up and how important it is to kind of lead that way. So I viewed my role as more than just what I do on a day-to-day basis, but more as kind of a mentor to obviously women in my company and then really women in the industry, which is what I love about my role.
Yeah, and I love that. And I do think, you don't want to say it's some people don't like the fact if I say it's our responsibility, but it really is. If you love what you do and you feel like there's an open field for young women to come into it, if we don't take on that responsibility, who will?
Right.
Plain and simple.
Exactly.
So, and I love, and I want to get back to this, but real interesting thing for me, because you said, Black & Decker at the beginning, and there's always sometimes like, oh, wait, DeWalt or Stanley Black & Decker or Black & Decker. Could you just explain a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So Stanley Black & Decker is really our corporate entity. DeWalt is one of Stanley Black & Decker's most powerful brands. We have a plethora of brands within the Stanley Black & Decker family, and DeWalt is really made for the pros. It is our most high quality premium product that is rooted at the core needs of our users on job sites and within the professional landscaping, you know, categories. So it is obviously we are embarking in our 100th year anniversary this year. So very exciting for the brand and its legacy and history for the industry.
I love it. I mean, 100 years, that's amazing. And I will tell you, my husband's workshop, my husband's welding shop, it is all yellow and black. Everything is like that. It's all about DeWalt. So he was a little envious. He was a little envious that I was going to be talking to DeWalt. He's like, well, what are you going to be talking about? What tools are you? I'm like, oh, I don't know that we're going to be talking about specific tools, but I get it. So I do think DeWalt does a great job. And I think it's a very, it's a brand that really stands out when you're talking about construction pros, like you said, like professionals that are out there that are doing this. It's the quality, it's the longevity, it's all of those things that you see with DeWalt. Here I am, yeah. I'm blowing sunshine here, right? But it's the truth. It absolutely is.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an iconic brand in the industry for sure. And I think, when you think about the legacy and the history around the brand, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about it, but how we started and where it's rooted in the history, that's what we're going to celebrate here at our, throughout our 100th year anniversary.
Yeah, that's incredible. Absolutely. One of the things that I don't want to lose sight of, because I really love that we started out about your experience and how you feel about young women coming into the industry. And you talked about being a mom. So can you tell us a little bit about your own experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one of the biggest challenges of being a mom is having children, right? The years when you're having children, when your children are younger. And I found that to be the most challenging years for me. I was on a pretty fast trajectory in my career at that time. And when I had my daughter, she's now 13, I really personally chose to take what I would call as a pause. I was still working the whole time, but I took a pause in terms of continuing to take on more responsibility and bigger roles, which really equated to more travel. And it was a really hard decision for me. I'm very competitive. I'm very driven. And I felt as though I was not accepting the next challenge because they kept coming to me to ask me to do more. And I had to make choices, which at that time I felt like were very career limiting. And at that time also felt as though maybe my male counterparts were able to take on things that I wasn't, just by the nature of being a mom. And then I had my son a couple years later. So for that period of time, there was about a 6-year window where I stayed in the same role that I was doing because it offered some flexibility in terms of travel. And I felt like the known role was better than the unknown, especially kind of managing through that time. So it was really hard. I would tell you that it was the best decision I ever made in my life. And I still ended up in this position that I'm in today, which was ultimately where I wanted to be. I just got there in a different timeline, in a different way. And I talk about that a lot. I use the analogy of a jungle gym when I talk to women that you can climb the jungle gym a million different ways. It's not always, bottom to top. It can be sideways. You can stop for a breath on the way and you can, keep climbing after. So for me, that worked. And it's not the same for everybody, but that was, I think, one of the biggest challenges, accepting that it was okay for me to pause to be a mom.
I think that's such great advice because I'm with you. I think it doesn't really matter what industry you're in. Women feel that, right? Like you feel like, oh, I'm going to get behind. I'm not going to have the same opportunities. And I really do. I really do believe today and going forward that people see that more. And you had the opportunities. I've had the opportunities. We have kids. You can do it. And I think that's really an important message for young women too. My daughter is finishing a construction management program and she's going into it. And she knows one day she wants to have children. She's young now, but she wants to. And I think it's important for her to hear, and other young women, it's okay. Like you can have children in this industry and you can move ahead in your career.
Yeah. And I think I get asked a lot around the question of mom guilt, right? Being a working mom and managing that, and sometimes, missing things and being away. That's one of the biggest topics that I talk to women about a lot too. And I think younger years, it was really hard to manage as I've gotten older and I, hear my kids' excitement about what I do on a day-to-day basis in my role, I know that I'm setting a good example for not only my daughter, but also for my son too. So that helps relieve some of it. I still have some of it at times for sure. And I've also learned to reprioritize things as I've gotten a little bit more tenured in my career. And there's certain things that are non-negotiables with my kids that I won't miss that maybe, I would have missed 10 years into my career. So it ebbs and flows, I think, over your journey for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's such a great topic because everyone's had the mom guilt. And I did what you did as especially my younger daughter, I would say, does it bother you that I work so much? Like, what can I do? And I really had open conversations. But I will tell you, my daughter was like, no, mom, I think it's really cool. I'm really glad that you work. I'll be able to. And I have two girls that are both in the construction industry, one 31 and one 21. And so absolutely, like, the mom guilt's there no matter who you are, no matter what industry you're in. It really doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not about the industry. It's about the sheer fact of working.
Absolutely. Sure. And good examples. I like the fact that you're saying not only did I give a great example for my daughter, I feel like I also have given a good example to my son.
Absolutely.
So DeWalt's really committed to women in construction, and you guys have done some really good, cool things with DeWalt Grow the Trade grants and DeWalt Trade scholarships. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you guys started with that and what it's all about?
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you, our CEO was very, very passionate about this a couple years ago, and I would say really worked with us as an organization to dream up really how we wanted to support the industry. And this is how we wanted to support the industry. We recognized the value of trade jobs to the economy and society as a whole. And really that mentorship and education, obviously in your business, Jennifer, right? Education is core and so important to the future. So we heard time and time again from our partners, our users, that there was a gap in terms of the trades and getting people into the industry. So from that, we knew that we wanted to provide resources for the industry in a lot of different forms and fashion. And our initiative, obviously, is called Grow the Trades. It's a $30 million commitment over 5 years.
That's incredible. Say that one more time.
So it's a $30 million commitment over the next 5 years, or obviously, roughly a year and a half into our journey, to support organizations at large, broad organizations that are skilling, reskilling, and upskilling tradespeople. And in 2023 alone, we gave $7.4 million in total to support tradespeople. And there's really three main ways. You mentioned grants, Jennifer, but there's three main ways that we go about doing this. The first is what we call Grow the Trades grants. That benefits organizations that are skilling tradespeople. The second is our DeWalt Trade Scholarship, and that's really to educate either future and or current tradespeople. And then there's lastly, it's broad resources that benefit nonprofits to recruit, educate, and develop future and current tradespeople. So for example, we get a lot of questions around, we have a training center, we have a training initiative, and we don't have the physical tools to train our people on the electrical trades. Can you provide us hand tools or power tools that are specific to our trades? So we will come in and provide, in that example, we would provide tools. So it is, it really, I will tell you, in the 25 years that I've been part of this company, it has been one of the most exciting initiatives that we've launched. And the company, our employees, are absolutely behind what we're doing. And it's something special, right? I would tell you it's a once in a career opportunity that you get to really change an industry, is how I feel.
Absolutely. And I mean, I was like, wow, for DeWalt to step up, for you guys to see the need and to come in here and say, okay, let us help. Let us help. Because so many times the contractors, the associations, they feel like, I don't know what else to do to get more people. I got my day job. I've got to get this built. I've got a schedule. I have to keep on that. I've got a budget. So how do I do the rest? And I think what you guys are doing is so important right now. Since COVID, we're seeing the pendulum swing back our way. People are choosing construction and other career tech education pathways. And to have DeWalt say, we're going to help, and we want people to choose construction, and we want this to be an industry of choice, I just think is vitally important for people to hear this, is the opportunities they have that they may not have had a year and a half ago.
I mean, I think it's fair to say, again, a couple of weeks ago, article out in the Wall Street Journal, right? I mean, you can't listen to the news, read the papers, whatever however you choose to get your news, and there's not something around the, hey, getting younger folks into the trades. Maybe college is not for everybody, or college and then trades. It is becoming so much more visible to our younger folks and or folks coming through to get into the industry. It's really exciting to see. And I believe we're just at the beginning of what we're doing as a total industry effort.
I absolutely agree. And, it was interesting. And I've said this to other people that in 2023, a survey came out and they had surveyed recent high school graduates. And 74% of them said, I wish I would have had more career awareness, more opportunities to know about what I could do after high school, because they didn't get it. They were told, go to college. Here's your path. Go to college. This is what you're going to do.
Right. And I know some of these organizations that we work with, they're really embarking into kids' minds younger and younger, working with guidance counselors, teaching the guidance counselors, right, about there are other options. It's not just this. It's not just this. It could be both, or it could be one or the other. So I think we're learning as we're doing this that, really giving options and showing different paths is so critical. Even in some cases, as early as starting kind of that dialogue in the middle school years and before kids are getting into high school. So our job, right, that we believe as a major brand and a major, U.S. Company is to help the industry along with that journey. And we absolutely are doing that. And I'm proud to say that, we're embarking on that as a total company. So it's exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting. And like I said, just because a lot of times contractors can't see the long game, right? Like it's a short game. I got this project right now. I need 100 more people, or I need 50 more people, or whatever that might be. And so you're talking about middle schools, you're talking about guidance counselors, you're talking about things that they can't even focus on right now. So for DeWalt to take on and say, we're going to help with that, let us get here. And for us to see more people, I've seen more organizations pop up, like choose the trades, like go here. And as you said, it's all over media.
Yeah. I mean, I think in 2023, right, Jennifer, NCCER was a grant recipient. It was our first year. It was our inaugural year. And, companies like yourself are the exact type of initiatives that we want to continue to invest in, and the great work that yourself and many others are doing in the industry. So,
yeah, it's and it's so helpful and it's so meaningful. If we're going to improve people's lives through construction education, we need help. So if someone wants to find out, someone's listening, they're like, I need to find out more about these programs. How do they find out more specifically about these programs?
So Jennifer, in terms of kind of finding out more about the Grow the Trades and the initiatives, anyone can go to dewalt.com/grow the trades. We're also announcing the opening of our 2024 DeWalt Grow the Trades grants on May 14th. So that's very exciting. That's one of our, I would say, more close and up and coming big initiatives. But all of our efforts around Grow the Trades, I'll just say it one more time, can be found on dewalt.com/grow the trades.
That's awesome. And I'm sure there's a ton of people that go to your site anyway, so they're just going to put it in today. You can Google whatever, and it's going to come up. So I think that's great. We were so happy. We were so excited to get the grant. Are there any other stories that stand out to you, recipients from 2023 that you want to give a shout out to?
So one story that stands out, there's multiple, but I would say in particular is a group called Western Welding Academy.
Okay.
Western Welding Academy is out of Gillette, Wyoming. They are an organization, Jennifer, that encourages kids to consider attending a trade school rather than a four-year college. What is so unique and amazing about what they do is they're currently traveling across the country in a tour bus to over 30 states. So it's a full coast to coast tour. They call it their blue collar tour to bring awareness not just to welding, but to all trades. Their goal, which is pretty amazing, is they plan on talking to over 20,000 high school kids, both males and females, to spread the awareness of these careers. And they're one of the groups that we highlight on our Grow the Trades website. You can kind of see the tour bus. It's really awesome what they've done in terms of their branding and the passion and energy that they have behind this program. One other one that I'll mention is really the ACE Mentor Program of America. It's a free after-school program. It's designated to attract high school students in the architecture, construction, and engineering industry, including skilled trades. ACE's main goals, Jennifer, really are to help build a large, diverse, and better prepared workforce. They engage students in the communities traditionally underrepresented in the industry. And they've got about 10,000 students that participate annually. 70% of ACE's seniors, this is a really awesome stat, 70% of their seniors enter a college or skilled trade program with an industry-related focus.
That's amazing.
69, isn't
That's
that amazing?
amazing.
And I think this one really, for me, hits home. 69% of their students are minorities and over 40% are females.
Awesome.
So
That's what we need to hear.
yeah, they are making an impact as well. Just two of, I would say, many of the great recipients that we had from last year's program. And we're so excited as we believe we're going to have probably double the amount of folks that come forward this year to apply for the grants.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, it's cool because it's like the tour bus is coming to a city near you. Love it. Right. It's fantastic. Check it out. Follow them. And then ACE Mentoring, they've been around for a long time. They do very, very meaningful work. They've been at it for a long time. I love it. We've worked with them. I think it's an incredible organization that, again, is mission driven. It's about helping the industry, getting people in the industry and letting them know. So I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to see who the recipients are going to be in 2024 and what amazing programs they're going to have.
I know, we're really excited. So again, I can't encourage folks enough to, participate and put their names in for the grant program.
So it's so exciting about this. And so many people have all these goals and they're doing it. And you guys are absolutely knocking it out of the park. So what's next? How do you even top this? Like, what are you guys thinking about?
I mean, I think it's remaining relentlessly focused on our user. And with that, right, it comes innovation. And speaking of moving forward, we are laser focused on innovation and what we call the job site of the future. It's our pursuit. It's our passion. It's where this brand started 100 years ago with Raymond DeWalt. Our journey is really to continue to remove cords and provide convenience and freedom of cordless technology with our battery operated tools. Some of our innovations like FlexVolt. Our next frontier is not only removing cords, but it's also eliminating gas from the job site. This year, we are launching a major launch called DeWalt PowerShift. It is a fully electrified line of concrete tools that use battery equivalent to the equivalent of 6.5 horsepower. Ooh. And again, I think in the spirit of our users first, we've gotten incredible feedback on this equipment. It is safer. It really removes gas tanks from the working environment. It's more ergonomic. It runs just as long, if not longer, than our gas products. And I think, Jennifer, this is just the beginning of some of our electrification efforts that you're going to see as we showcase more innovation moving forward. This line will be available in September. And we obviously pre-launched it at the World of Concrete in Las Vegas earlier this year, but we're really excited to bring this to market this year.
That's very cool. So in the fall, PowerShift, right? Is that what we need to look for?
You got it. In the fall, PowerShift.
That's amazing. I love it because you guys have been on this mission about, like you said, the cordless job sites, really going for it. And what I know about DeWalt and participating with you guys is you're out there. You send people to the project sites to get feedback. And I love that.
It's really the heritage of our brand. It is how, our founder, Raymond DeWalt, innovated the products some 100 years ago when he developed this brand was with the users and for the users. And that hasn't stopped today. We still do all of our product development, and our product life, cycles are spent with our users that use the tools.
And that just is a testament to what you guys are doing. You have that mission too. You really stay laser focused. So I love it. So we've already talked, like you have an anniversary and stuff, but I understand tomorrow's a pretty big day for DeWalt. So what's going on? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, it is a big day. It marks our 100th anniversary. And as I mentioned earlier, Raymond DeWalt is really the core founder of our brand. And he was a really incredible person, in the Towson, Maryland area. He was well known. He was for the community. He was also a machine shop teacher himself.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he helped write union safety codes for the Navy, and he was an inventor. And I think celebrating him will be, and our legacy of our brand will be what we are going to commemorate. The milestone tomorrow, we'll be ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange. While we're in New York, more importantly than ringing the bell, we're taking the opportunity to thank over 150,000 trade people in the city. We're going to one of New York City's largest job sites, Jennifer, and several training academies to thank the current and future pros and really bring awareness about the importance of skilled trades that, essentially keep the city running. We're going to be bringing them food, coffee, fun merchandising. We're going to be doing some safety trainings, really to show our appreciation. At that point, we are also formally announcing the opening of the 2024 DeWalt Grow the Trades grant that will go live on May 14th.
That is so exciting. I love it. Like you're just doing this huge takeover and you're going and you're thinking because we know it, right? Like people are out there working every day on these job sites and people forget to thank them for their electricity, for their air conditioning, for the schools they go to, for the stadiums they go to on the weekends, for all of these things. So again, I just think that's what makes DeWalt such an incredible brand is you don't forget your roots.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that's going to really come to life for us at this event is just, and it's one city, but I think it's our way to thank the industry and all the incredible tradespeople that we continue to touch with our brand.
Now, are you going to be there? Are you going to be in New York City?
I will. I'll be at the stock exchange event, and then I'll also be at all the training centers where we're going to be really doing kind of an unveiling and a thanking, and I'll also be on the job site. So I'm very, very excited.
That is super exciting. And the amount of people and the things that you're doing and the largest projects that I just like it all. I'm just sitting there thinking, I cannot wait to see it because this is going to be everywhere tomorrow when this happens. So one thing, ringing the bell, totally different thing. And so much even more impressive going to the project sites and saying thank you. So we thank DeWalt because you guys have been great, great partners to NCCER. You have come through all the time for us. So I love everything. So let's talk one more time before we have to get off. I want to make sure everybody knows where to go and check out all these wonderful, incredible things you're doing for our industry.
Yeah, so I think if you want to learn more about our Grow the Trades initiative, it's under DeWalt.com/Grow the Trades. And what you can expect to find is really the different pillars that I spoke about, Jennifer, and how you can activate either for your nonprofit organization, your company. There's a lot of different ways that we can help support your initiative around Grow the Trades.
Wow, that's awesome. I am so appreciative of DeWalt, and I'm so appreciative that you came today, the day before you're going to have to go to New York City and spend a whole day out there on the job sites having a good time. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. We appreciate your support.